Alright guys, welcome back. Yeah, that was just the cover for the back cargo area, as you can see. Once again, very organized this morning, but I went ahead and removed the carpet. I removed the tub, and now we're going to see exactly what we need to do to remove the rest of this. So let's get cracking. Remember what I said about organization in my first video? Everything is just gonna live right there. So this video ended up being more of a what not to do than a to do. And you can kind of see that I'm struggling just a little bit with this trim panel. The reality is that this job is best done with a trim removal tool. There are notches cut into the edges of this panel that I'm trying to remove, and you can just put a tool in there and pop it out. All right, let's go ahead and pull the safety plug. So remember, again, it's just simply up, the arm swings down, up, down, out. One of the things that amazed me when I went back and looked at all the video footage that I had shot was the amount of time that I spent digging in my toolbox. Obviously, it's best to come organized to something like this, and knowing what you need before you start is always helpful. So in this particular case, 14mm socket will remove the bolts for the seats, and 11mm socket will remove all of the main bolts from the battery. I found that removing the side plastic compartment allowed me to pull out this trim piece far enough to get at the two bolts holding the bracket in the corner. Alright, so here's the bracket that mounts over in this corner, and 5 bolts holding it in. Some of them are behind the side trim panel piece, so definitely, yeah, that was fun. There are several small bolts that not only hold on the protective cover over the wires, but also actually attach the leads. If I were not using vice grips to remove them, I could probably tell you what size they are. So once again, come prepared. 7 or 8mm, I think. Just bring your whole set. It'll work out better, I promise. There's no doubt that a socket is preferable, but I don't have all my tools with me today. So, yeah, this is very, not recommended, put it that way. It's kind of like using a skid loader to jack up your minivan to change the struts, which we've also done. So anyway, I promise at some point we'll have a proper garage and a proper set of tools. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's what we're working towards. I'm also told it's a good idea to not have your key fob near the car when you're working on it. That will prevent the car from accidentally engaging or turning on, if you hit the unlock button or something. Anyway, I probably have the fob in my pocket, so do as I say, not as I do. Again, we are not professionals. We're just trying to save a little money. I can remember watching a video of a guy scrapping a television and just shattering the picture tube and putting it in a box and putting it in his recycling, and thinking to myself that, there's a lot of good information on YouTube, and there's a lot of information on YouTube that just probably shouldn't be on YouTube. And so in terms of where I fit in that grand scheme of things, again, I'm not an auto mechanic. I've never gone to school to be one. I think we want to use our extension, get us a little more clearance. So, I just ask that you take that in view as you watch these videos. That this is suggestions. This is what I did. Maybe you might find this helpful, but in no way should you just run out without doing any of your own research and attempting something like this. You need to know what you're dealing with. There are some great videos out on YouTube on hybrid safety taught by actual professionals who have college degrees. So, make sure you find some of those. If I can find them, I'll link to them in the description. One of the reasons you might consider filming your own repair, something that is helpful, is something like this. This bolt came out of this corner, and these two bolts came out of the further two corners, and you can see that clearly they're different. Same head size, same thread diameter, but this bolt is about 1/4 of an inch longer. So if you film your repair and you find yourself stuck, you wonder where a particular part came from, you can always go back and look at your video and, remember. So when I did the actuator repair on the very broken Prius, there's a bracket. In fact, it's this bracket right here. And as you can see, it's still not in the car. Holds one of the air conditioner lines. And when I was editing the videos, I went back and said, well, that's where I took that bracket out. So I should have gone back and watched the videos as I was putting it back together. It's just a good way to keep track of your stuff. Couple quick housekeeping items as far as removing the battery without removing the ventilation system on the passenger side. There is a plastic push pin that connects one of the air ducts to the battery. You'll want to remove that. The passenger side front edge of the battery has sort of a bevel to it that prevents you from sliding, so you'll want to make sure you get some elevation on that at the same time that you're picking up the driver's side of the battery. And then lastly, there's a rubber hose that connects to the two rubber hoses that vent the actual battery cells. You'll want to disconnect that from the plastic piece before you attempt to remove the battery. Genie, I wish for a new battery.